Leaving Augusta on April 30th and flying by way of Detroit and Paris, I landed in Athens, Greece on May 1st for the beginning of a marathon trip through the Black Sea and the Mediterranean and finishing up in Great Britain. Since my cruise was set to return to Athens several days later, I did not see any of the sights in the city at this time, choosing instead to visit Cape Sounion and the Temple of Poseidon on May 2nd. On May 3rd, having boarded the cruise ship the previous afternoon, we sailed up the Aegean Sea on our way to Istanbul, passing through the Dardanelles Strait, with a view of the Gallipoli Peninsula, where the tragic World War I battle was fought. Originally the Roman city of Byzantium, and then Constantinople, Mongol Turks settled here to escape Genghis Khan and eventually conquered the city in 1453 AD, renaming it Istanbul. Built in 1459 as the main residence and administrative headquarters of the Ottoman sultans, the Topkapi Palace was converted to a museum in 1924, following the fall of the Ottoman Empire. Built in the early 1600s, the Sultan Ahmed Mosque is popularly called the Blue Mosque because of the blue tiles used in its interior. The blue really didn't stand out that much to me, however. Built as a cathedral in 537 AD, Hagia Sophia was the world's largest building and is considered the epitome of Byzantine architecture. Converted to a mosque after the Ottoman conquest of Istanbul in 1453, much of the Christian artwork was destroyed or plastered over. Some of that artwork was restored in 1931 when it became a museum, but even now Muslim trappings are seen to cover much of the Christian art. On May 5th, having entered the Black Sea, we docked at the Bulgarian port city of Varna, the third largest city in Bulgaria and the largest city and seaside resort on the Bulgarian Black Sea coast. Situated strategically in the Gulf of Varna, the city has been a major economic, social, and cultural center for almost 3 millennia. On May 6, we docked at the Ukrainian city of Odessa, the third most populous city in Ukraine and sometimes referred to as the Pearl of the Black Sea. In ancient times, a Greek settlement existed at this location, as elsewhere along the northwestern Black Sea coast. In 1794, the city of Odessa was founded by a decree of the Russian Empress Catherine the Great. During the Soviet period, it was the most important port of trade in the Soviet Union and a Soviet naval base. Its historical architecture has a style more Mediterranean than Russian, having been heavily influenced by French and Italian styles. Passing first by the Valley of Death, the Crimean War battlefield made famous in Alfred Lord Tennyson's poem, The Charge of the Light Brigade, On May 7th, we docked at the Crimean resort city of Yalta, site of the 1945 Yalta Conference between the big three powers, the Soviet Union, the United States, and the United Kingdom, which was held at the Lavadia Palace. On May 8th, we sailed back across the Black Sea, entering the Bosporus, passing Istanbul, and leaving the Bosporus through the Dardanelles Strait on our way to the Turkish port city of Kusadasi, the gateway to Ephesus, where we docked on May 9th. Ephesus was built in the 10th century BC and was one of the 12 cities of the Ionian League. The city flourished after it came under the control of the Roman Republic in 129 BC. It was famed for the nearby Temple of Artemis, completed around 550 BC, one of the seven wonders of the ancient world. Among many other monumental buildings are the Library of Celsus and a theater capable of holding 25,000 spectators. Ephesus was one of the seven churches of Asia that are cited in the book of Revelation. The Gospel of John may have been written here. The city was the site of several 5th century Christian councils. It was destroyed by the Goths in 263 AD, and although rebuilt, the city's importance as a commercial center declined as the harbor was slowly silted up by the nearby river. It was partially destroyed by an earthquake in AD 614. Today it is a very popular tourist destination.